welcome to the 4th Annual Rotterdam School of Management MBA Regatta 2013, held in the beautiful Bavaria Haven, Lelystad in Holland, where 12 teams are competing against teams from the best business schools in the world across 2 divisions. This regatta invites experienced sailors and first-timers alike onto the racecourse for the weekend, providing the perfect opportunity for teams to hone their skills and pick up some new ones. The first day of racing was expected to be a good one, with a promising forecast of 15 knots coming from the northwest. The cloudy skies threatened rain at some point during the day, but that wasn't going to dampen the high spirits and steely determination of the crews as they prepared for a thrilling day's racing. Before racing kicked off, the skippers were called to a morning briefing where competitors were given valuable information about the racecourse as well as the schedule for the weekend ahead. Over the course of the regatta, 12 races are expected to be sailed, 6 races for each of the 2 classes being held.
Well, first of all, I would like to say I'm very excited because today is the 4th time we do the RSM Regatta, and the school has actually committed itself for a longer time, so we're very happy to know that. The weather is competitive. We have about 14 knots of wind, I think northwest, and I think we will have some sun in the afternoon. No rain predicted, so I think ideal circumstances for us to actually have a very competitive MBA Regatta this year.
Amongst the 12 teams competing is the MaxFun team, IE, and Warwick of Warwick Business School, a globally leading provider of finance and business research and education, an Instituto de Empresa business school based in Madrid, and internationally recognized for its prestigious continuing educational programs. After the first start, the majority of the teams in the MaxFun class chose to head to the right side of the course, with the INSEAD team being on windward. But it was the LBS team that had a significant lead from the rest of the pack, securing the top spot at the windward mark. During the downwind, there were some strong battles between the teams, with the crews working hard and pushing their boats to the limit. The wind was gradually increasing throughout the race, catching some teams by surprise. However, the change in conditions didn't affect Team LBS, and they managed to keep their leading position and cross the finish line ahead of the pack. Team RSM2 also came up against the challenging weather conditions and had a tough day's racing, but they're ready to step up their game in time for tomorrow when the last of the races will be sailed. It seemed it wasn't all plain sailing for many of the teams, and the Kellogg WHU team had some difficulties in their races today too. They'll have to regroup and debrief ready for tomorrow if they want to come out on top by the end of the regatta. In the second race of the MaxFun class, there was a change in fortunes, and the INSEAD team were the ones to win it, making it all to play for in the last few races of the weekend. The LBS team had some difficulties in the second of their races, and it was their bowman that was struggling with the jib during the first upwind due to a gear failure. Her efforts finally came through in the end though, and she managed to save the day for the team as LBS finished in second place, just behind INSEAD. So by the end of the day it was LBS and INSEAD both tied at the top of the leaderboard. The RSM1 team also had some difficulties of their own, putting in a poor performance on the first day of the championship. But all's not lost, as the team have vowed that they are going to recover and come back stronger tomorrow. Joining the RSM corporate and alumni division on the racecourse is a Team RSM Staff who are sailing the Bavaria 38 Solvay. This team could be dubbed the home team, but it will count for nothing as they come up against some equally skilled teams hungry for the friendly championship title. Next up, his team in Corporate and Alumni Division is RSM Alumni 2 in Bavaria 37 Joy, another team who will be sailing one of 12 yachts competing here over the weekend. RSM EMBA 13, skippered by Sander Doves, are expected to be among the top 3 boats putting their skills in action in a Bavaria 36. And last but not least, London Business School and HEC are strong candidates of winning this championship, having Jonathan Rowan on the helm. In the MaxFun class, with the INSEAD and LBS teams on the top of the leaderboard, it is the RSM 2 team that follows in 3rd place, taking the last podium spot. In the Bavaria class, first overall is the team from LBS and HEC in a tie, Ember 13 in 2nd, and only 1 point behind them is the RSM Staff team in 3rd. After a long and tiring day, the teams took the opportunity to relax and get ready for the next day's racing. What could be better than staying on board a traditional Frisian clipper for the night? The organizers had arranged for a unique clipper as host ship during the event, serving as a hotel and a spectator boat for the Dean of Rotterdam School of Management and other international executives who were watching the racing. But first, time for some rest, ahead of the party that would take place in the evening. A spectacular sunset as the skies cleared before the night settled in, offering some special memories to the MBAers gathered in Lelystad. Welcome to the second and final day of the 4th RSM MBA Regatta, where the event winner will be crowned. The 12 teams competing had already sailed 2 challenging races yesterday, amongst some tricky conditions, but it all came down to today's final race to decide the champions of this regatta. The weather forecast for the day was for a northwestern breeze of around 15 to 18 knots, making for yet another exciting day of sailing for the teams. Preparations for the day ahead began early for the competitors as the crews readied their boats for the windy conditions. This event sees 2 classes taking place over the weekend. First up is the Bavaria Class, where teams are tasked with racing the fast and responsive Bavaria boats. And today, the RSM Alumni 1 team, skippered by Peter Corti, had a disappointing regatta with a 5th and 2 6th place finishes. The team hoped for more and will be back to improve their scoreline next year. A team that were much happier with their performance this weekend was RSM MBA 14. They managed to score 2 second-place finishes in their last 2 races, which rocketed them to 4th place on the overall leaderboard. A great personal best for them. All eyes seem to be on Team RSM EMBA 13 in the Corporate and Alumni Division, following a strong performance yesterday which had put them in 2nd place at the close of play. However, they were unable to repeat their good form today and dropped into 3rd place on the overall leaderboard as a result.
I was invited today to join the regatta of the RSM organized, and I think it was a very well done event. We had a chance to go on the clipper and see the regatta from close by, and that was very enjoyable. The weather was perfect, so I think we could have had a little bit more sun, but for the sailors the wind is more important, so I think they enjoyed very much the conditions out there. I think sailing is not always in top of mind, so maybe those type of events help to stimulate a little bit the interest for corporations.
Meanwhile, in the MBA Sailing League division, the teams were fighting it out and the racing was as intense for the spectators as it was for the teams themselves. The first race of the day saw a real battle between teams RSM1 and INSEAD on the second upwind, as both teams vied to claim first place on the racecourse. So, despite a close race between the two teams on the upwind, it was RSM2 that rounded the top mark first, putting them in second position. During the downwind, the distance between the two boats got bigger, with RSM2 gaining some great speed and chasing the leader, Kellogg WHU, who was racing with a bigger boat today because of yesterday's boat accident. This neck-and-neck racing is all part of the attraction for the MaxFun fleet. Being an official one-design class, the boats are very closely matched, making for tight racing and some great competition. Kellogg WHU was racing through with a handicap which ended them to the fourth place, despite a setback in this last race. INSEAD managed to scoop the overall event win thanks to some stronger finishes in other races, a great feat for the team who would be crowned the champions of the MaxFun class.
I've been participating in MBA regattas for quite a few years. We were very nicely surprised by the regatta organized by RSM this year. There were fantastic boats in this event. We had the MaxFuns, and there were small boats with only 4 to 5 people on it, and it was very competitive racing. To our big surprise, we actually won this race. We were 3 ladies from INSEAD, plus a friend of mine from Holland. We had never raced together, but we really bonded very well. We looked after the tactics, but we were a little bit light, so we had to go downwind. We always lost a little bit, but upwind with our weight, we could actually manage to make up for it, for the speed.
At the end of the thrilling weekend, the results looked like this. In the MaxFun class, it was INSEAD who took the top spot, followed by RSM2 in second and LBS in third place overall. The Bavaria class saw 1 RSM Staff take the event win, with LBS and HEC taking second place and RSM EMBA 13 in third overall. The teams were pleased with their podium finishes, but all competitors came away from the event with some great memories, new sailing skills, and some lasting relationships forged outside of the business realm. To celebrate the team's achievements, a wonderful awards ceremony took place straight after racing, where the winners received their trophies in front of an enthusiastic crowd who also enjoyed watching the day's action and looked forward to the evening's festivities.
It was a great event. We started from third position and we ended up today in the second position after several good races. It's an event with great prospects. First of all, because it is a part of the MBA Sailing League, league with 7 events internationally: San Francisco, Singapore, Athens, Portofino, here in Lelystad, as it happened these days, and 2 more in Portsmouth, Cranfield, and ABC Cup from INSEAD. It's a great event on 2 aspects. First of all, because many international people from top corporations are joining in order to meet each other, network, expand their network, and from the other aspect is a good opportunity for corporates to come also and race, because it's also the corporate league that we want to create from next year, International Corporate League for alumni and corporations, and it will be also more beneficial for the expansion of the regatta to other sectors, again in the same context, which is sailing and business.
After 2 full days of racing in testing weather conditions, the 2013 champions were crowned. All the teams, whatever their result, enjoyed a great weekend and the opportunity to catch up with their fellow MBA community. The anticipation for next year's regatta has already set in, with everyone already applying to attend and compete. We'll certainly be there and hope you will join us too. Thanks for watching.